My niece stood in my doorway, barefoot, eyes glassed over. "Uncle," she said. Actually, her voice didn't belong to a child. She hesitated, fingers twisting the hem of her sweater. Then she stepped in and shut the door. The room tightened around us. She looked at the floor. I didn't eat because she said not to. She said it would hurt less if I stayed quiet. No tears, no emotion, just a dead sentence floating in the silence. I didn't ask questions. I walked past her, picked up the phone, and dialed the police. I didn't shake, I didn't breathe. I just listened to my heart crawl backward through time. The officer asked me to step outside the room while they questioned her. I watched from the hallway. She sat still, not scared, not brave, just resigned. Her mother arrived 20 minutes later. Faux concern, tight arms, crocodile tears, accusations. She's been acting out since the funeral. You know how grief works. I said nothing. I watched the way her daughter wouldn't look her in the eyes, wouldn't speak, wouldn't move near her. I told the officers she needed to stay with me for now, temporary custody. Her mother objected, loudly. But the child clung to my coat as if it were stitched from oxygen. She slept that night curled in a ball at the edge of the bed. No blanket, no sound. In the morning, she apologized again. "I just don't feel hungry." Days passed, then weeks. I noticed patterns. She flinched at the sound of high heels on the tile. She never walked into the kitchen unless I was there first. And every time her mother called, her eyes would drift, somewhere else. So I started digging. Phone records, old neighbors, school counselors who remembered bruises that didn't match her excuses. But the pieces didn't click until I found the drawing. Crayon, simple, childish, but haunting. A stick figure, with long black hair. A smaller one beside it, curled up in red. The words, "If I tell, she won't stop." I called my friend in Child Protective Services. I asked her to run the mother's name. There had been a case, closed early. The complaint was retracted. By the mother. I started documenting everything. Photos of bruises that came from the playground. Videos of her flinching whenever someone knocked on a door. I wasn't building a theory, I was building a case. A neighbor finally returned my call. She lived across from their old apartment. Said she used to hear yelling, late at night, crying, doors slamming. One time she knocked. The mother opened with a smile and called her nosy. The next day, she saw the little girl at the balcony rail, standing on tiptoe, staring down. I filed for emergency custody. The judge needed proof, so I gave it to him. CPS testimony, school records, photos, videos, the drawing. And then, her confession, whispered into a recorder one night when she couldn't sleep. "I think she only hurts me because she says I remind her of him." "Who's him?" I asked gently. She didn't answer. She just said, "I don't want to be like him. I just want to be nothing." Her mother arrived the next morning, uninvited, stormed into the living room with fake rage. "You had no right!" I handed her the file, every page, every photo, every report. Her face changed with each turn, rage to denial, denial to realization. "You think you can take her from me?" she hissed. I said nothing. She stepped forward, voice rising. "She's mine! You think you know what it's like raising a kid alone? You think—" I interrupted. "You're not a mother. You're a scar that keeps bleeding." She froze. I stepped aside. 2 uniformed officers walked in behind her. The look in her eyes told me she'd already guessed. She was being arrested. Not just for neglect, not just for abuse, for something worse. Something she thought no one heard when the door was closed. But her daughter had spoken. Not with screams, with silence. And I had listened. That night the house didn't feel heavy anymore. She sat beside me, watching cartoons she didn't understand, slowly eating the grilled cheese I made. No apology, no explanation, just small bites, one after another. Later, I tucked her in. She asked if the doors were locked. I said yes. She asked if her mom could get in. I said no. She nodded, then asked something that hollowed me out. "Do you believe me now?" I told her the truth. I always did. She smiled. It wasn't wide, but it was real. Some monsters raise children, until one of them whispers loud enough for someone to finally burn the house down.